Hello everyone! It's great to see you all back on my channel. Today, we'll continue following the emotional story of Ly Hoai Ca, a small yet strong girl who always faces unexpected challenges. After a few seemingly peaceful days, Hung's mother suddenly returns, bringing with her all the memories and pain of the past. Her appearance once again shakes up Hoai Ca's life. Will Hung, the son who once suffered so much, be able to face this truth? And what about Hoai Ca? Will she be strong enough to endure the storm ahead, now that the past has come back to life? Stay with me until the end of today's video to see how the story unfolds. Don't forget to leave a comment and share your thoughts. Sometimes, even one small opinion from you can change the direction of the story. That afternoon, the sun tilted behind the bamboo grove, its golden light stretching across the red dirt path leading to the orange orchard. The air softened after a long, scorching day, carrying the faint scent of young orange leaves and tree sap drifting gently in the wind. The last cicadas of the season buzzed lazily, blending with the rustling of leaves, a sound that seemed to lull the whole world into rest after a tiring day. Hoai Ca bent down, gathering the last oranges into her basket. Sweat soaked through her back, but her heart felt strangely light. She loved this feeling, peaceful, simple, free from the noise and worries of the world. As long as she could come home every evening and see Mother Ha tending the fire, all her exhaustion would melt away. The old wooden gate creaked open. But today, something felt different. Mother Ha wasn't smiling. She sat quietly on the steps, her small figure hunched over, eyes fixed on the path beyond the gate as if waiting for someone. The fading sunlight painted her face in a pale gold hue, deepening every wrinkle. Ca, her voice was hoarse, heavy with emotion. Someone came looking for you today. Hoai Ca stopped in her tracks, setting the basket down on the porch. Who, Mom? Where are they from? Mother Ha was silent for a moment, then turned to look at her daughter. In her eyes was something both strange and familiar, like a cold wind blowing straight out of the past. Her words came out slowly, each one weighed down with unease. It's Hung's mother. For a second, every sound around them vanished. Then cling. The basket slipped from Hoai Ca's trembling hands. A few golden oranges rolled across the floor, down to the foot of the stairs. She stood frozen, her eyes wide in disbelief. What did you say? Hung's mother, she's back. Her voice trembled, a mix of shock and fear. Mother Ha nodded, sighing deeply. She came looking for you. Said she wanted to apologize, begged me not to tell Hung. She claims she's truly sorry, that she just wants to see you once. But I don't know if I can believe her. When I looked into her eyes, there was something off, like she was hiding something. The evening wind grew stronger, carrying the damp scent of soil after watering. Orange leaves drifted down, brushing softly against Hoai Ca's hair. She clutched her sleeves, a chill creeping up her spine. I thought she'd never come back. Her words came out faint, almost like a sob. Images flashed through her mind. The day Hung left the village, the pain in his eyes when he said, "Don't ever mention her name to me again." She thought it was all buried long ago, that no one would ever speak of that woman again. Mother Ha stepped forward, holding her daughter's hand, her voice steady but filled with warmth. "Don't be afraid. I'm here. No matter what happens, I won't let anyone hurt you." Hoai Ca looked up, her eyes glistening with tears. But deep within them was a fear she couldn't name. Not fear of Hung's mother, but fear that once Hung found out, everything they'd worked so hard to rebuild would crumble, like dust in the wind. Outside, the sun had completely disappeared. Only fragments of sunset shimmered faintly across the trembling orange trees. The wind kept blowing, carrying echoes of the past, whispering that once it returns, no one can escape it. The cicadas had just fallen silent when another sound rose, the familiar rumble of Du's motorbike echoing from the dirt road ahead. The wooden gate rattled softly, then the engine cut off. Du stepped into the yard, his jacket still dusted from the road, beads of sweat on his forehead, his eyes sharp and alert. "What's going on?" he asked. Even in those few words, tension could be heard. Mother Ha looked at her foster son, her shoulders sinking slightly. Hung's mother just came back. The air in the yard froze. Du stopped in his tracks. For a brief moment, surprise flickered in his eyes, then quickly hardened into suspicion. She came back? After all those years of disappearing, and now she shows up. His voice dropped low, weighted with distrust and unease. Hoai Ca sat quietly on the porch steps, her hands clenched together. Looking up at him, her voice was barely above a whisper, so soft the wind could almost carry it away. "She told Mom she wanted to see me, but asked not to tell Hung. I'm scared, Du. I don't know if she's sincere or if there's something else behind it." Du walked closer, leaned down, and placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. His tone was firm, steady. "Don't be afraid. If she truly wanted to make things right, she would have gone straight to Hung coming back in secret like this. Something's not right." Hoai Ca looked up, meeting Du's gaze, strong, protective, but shadowed with concern. Somehow, that look eased her trembling, even if only a little. Mother Ha watched them silently, then spoke, her voice calm but heavy. "I've been thinking all afternoon." Her eyes didn't look like someone seeking forgiveness. There was something else, cold, cautious, as if she was sizing us up. Outside, the rain began to fall, faint at first, tapping softly against the tiled roof, echoing the uneasy rhythm of 3 beating hearts. Du pulled a bamboo chair closer, and the 3 of them sat together under the porch. The damp scent of earth mingled with the faint sweetness of ripe oranges, thickening the silence between them. "Here's what we'll do," Du said finally, his voice steady and decisive. "For now, we don't tell Hung anything. He's away on business, no need to worry him yet. We'll take our time, find out what she's really after." Mother Ha nodded, though her eyes held worry. "I agree. But you have to keep an eye on Hoai Ca. For the next few days, she mustn't go to the orchard alone. Wherever she goes, you or I must go with her, understand?" Hoai Ca lowered her head, her voice no louder than a sigh. "Yes, I understand." Du looked at her in silence. The oil lamp on the bamboo table flickered, casting a soft light on her pale face and misty eyes full of fear, regret, and something unspoken. He felt a pang of pity, but also knew this was only the beginning, the calm before a storm they could already sense coming. Outside, the rain grew heavier. Thunder rumbled faintly in the distance, like a warning from the heavens. Inside the small house, 3 people sat wordless, each lost in their own thoughts. And somewhere in the darkness beyond the garden, a pair of unseen eyes was watching, silent, patient, and impossible to read. That night, the sky cleared after a light afternoon rain. The crescent moon hung thin and faint above, casting a cold silver light over the orange orchard, still glistening with dew. Drops of water clung to the leaves, reflecting moonlight, shimmering, beautiful, but eerily still. It was the kind of light that made one's spine tingle rather than feel peace. The small house sat quietly in the middle of the orchard, bamboo walls, earthen partitions, a moss-stained tile roof. From inside came the soft sound of wind slipping through the gaps in the door, blending with the faint hum of crickets, the monotonous song of a countryside night. Every now and then, a small cat stirred in the corner of the yard, its eyes flashing briefly in the dark before vanishing again. Du lay awake in the outer room. He had turned over again and again, but his mind was tangled, restless. Hoai Ca's words from earlier that evening kept echoing in his head. She said not to tell Hung. I'm scared, do. He pressed a hand to his forehead, trying to shake off the unease that was slowly creeping in. But the harder he tried, the louder his heart pounded. The house was too quiet. No shifting of blankets, no roosters crowing early, only the cold air leaking through the walls, carrying the strange feeling that someone might be watching from outside. He sat up, listening. The night was too still. Not peaceful, but tense, the kind of silence that comes right before something happens. Dew rose and walked toward the window. The air smelled of damp soil and ripe oranges. He gently lifted the bamboo curtain and peered into the misty yard. Moonlight flickered through the orange trees, silver streaks slicing between patches of shadow. And then a movement. A figure, faint, quick, just outside the gate. Not an illusion. Impossible. His brow furrowed, his pulse spiked. Who's there? His voice cut through the thick air, low and sharp. The figure flinched. A beat of silence, then turned and bolted. Footsteps pounded through the wet ground, thud, 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 uneven, frantic, fading fast into the trees. Dew didn't hesitate. He grabbed the flashlight on the table, switched it on, and ran outside. The bamboo door slammed open, and the cold night wind whipped against his face. His shirt clung wet to his skin, heavy with dew. Stop, he shouted, his voice echoing through the orchard. But there was no answer, only the rustling of orange leaves and footsteps dissolving into the dark. The ground was slick and muddy from the rain, and he slipped more than once as he chased through the dim moonlight, past leaning orange trunks and the old moss-covered well. Nothing. No one. Just the smell of wet earth and the sound of his own ragged breathing. At the bend near the edge of the orchard, his flashlight caught something glinting faintly in the mud. He knelt down, reached out, and his hand brushed something icy cold. A folding knife. The blade half open, its steel glinting sharply under the moonlight. Damp soil clung to the tip, a few blades of grass freshly cut around it. On the wooden handle, a faint, still wet fingerprint. Dew frowned deeply, turning it over in his hand. This wasn't a farmer's knife. Steel grip, small engraving, the kind used by city men, traders, or professionals. A chill ran down his spine. He looked up. The orchard was silent again, only the rustle of leaves and the pale, broken moonlight. In the distance, a dog barked, sharp, desperate, echoing through the bamboo grove before cutting off suddenly. Dew stood still, gripping the knife tightly, his breath forming pale clouds in the cold air. Whoever had come wasn't a passerby. Someone had been watching this house, watching Hoai Ca for a while now. A threat had slipped in, quiet and deliberate. The moonlight washed across his face, drawing out every tense line. The blade in his hand caught the light, flashing like a silent warning. A heavy feeling settled in his chest, an instinct whispering. The real storm hasn't begun yet, but the one who brings it has already arrived. He stood there for a long while before turning back, his boots squelching through the soaked earth. From afar, the oil lamp still flickered faintly inside the house. Mother Ha and Hoai Ca had no idea that tonight, their peace had already begun to crack. Dew returned to the house, his clothes splattered with mud. His breathing was heavy and uneven, hair drenched with dew, droplets sliding down his face and dripping onto the floor. He stepped quickly onto the porch, still gripping the folding knife tightly, its blade glinting faintly under the flickering oil lamp. Hoai Ca startled awake, her voice trembling. Dew, what happened? I heard you shouting outside. He shook his head, his voice hoarse between ragged breaths. Someone was prowling around the orchard. I chased them, but they were fast, disappeared behind the orange trees. All I found was this. He placed the knife on the bamboo table. The dim lamp cast a wavering light over the steel blade, wet, sharp, and chilling to the bone. Mother Ha stared at it, her face draining of color. Whose knife is that? Why would it be here at this hour? Du sat down, wiped the sweat from his brow, and spoke slowly. I don't know, but it doesn't belong to anyone in the village. The handle's engraved foreign make, high quality. Whoever held it isn't ordinary. Hoai Ca's gaze locked on the knife. Her hands clenched tightly, veins rising under her skin. She tried to speak, but her throat felt dry as dust. Could it be Hung's mother? Mother Ha shook her head, her voice steady despite the fear in her eyes. We can't jump to conclusions. Whoever it is, one thing's clear, someone's been watching us. And that person knows this house well. The air in the small room grew heavy, suffocating. The lamp flickered, and the shadows of the three stretched long and distorted across the bamboo wall, trembling with each gust of wind. Outside, the rain began again, soft, steady. Raindrops tapped rhythmically on the roof, blending with the quick, uneven heartbeats inside. The night's chill seeped into their skin, crawling up their spines. Hoai Ca shivered. She curled up in the corner, arms wrapped around her knees, staring at the misty window. Du sat beside her, his grip still firm on the knife, eyes fixed on the main door, where the pale moonlight slipped through the wooden slats like a thin, silver thread. Mother Ha quietly added oil to the lamp, but the small flame only deepened the darkness beyond it. No one spoke. Only the sound of rain and racing hearts filled the room, uneasy, restless. They stayed awake the entire night. Du sat by the door, alert to every sound outside the orchard. Now and then, Hoai Ca looked up at him, her eyes full of fear. Mother Ha sat silently, fingers sliding over her prayer beads, murmuring faintly under her breath, a quiet plea for safety. And in that silence, beyond the bamboo walls, something was moving slowly, softly, just enough to remind them that the darkness hadn't left this place. Near dawn, the night's rain had finally stopped. Tiny droplets fell from the roof tiles, one by one, mixing with the earthy scent of damp soil after the storm. The early wind slipped through the orange trees, shaking the dew-soaked branches, creaking softly, like the whispers of a garden waking from a long, uneasy sleep. Inside the small house, the oil lamp was almost out, its fragile flame flickering weakly. Hoai Ca rested her head on Mother Ha's shoulder, her eyes swollen, weary, and tear-stained. She hadn't slept all night. Every time she closed her eyes, that shadow at the gate came back to haunt her, flickering like a nightmare refusing to fade. Mother Ha gently stroked her daughter's hair, wrinkled hands, warm and steady. She said nothing, just stared toward the door, straining to hear if anyone was still lurking outside. Du stood at the doorway, his silhouette long against the damp floor. Dark circles rimmed his eyes. He hadn't slept either. In his hand, the folding knife remained cold and wet, reflecting the faint glow of the dying lamp. He stared into the yard, eyes hard and searching, as if trying to pierce through the thick morning mist. If she was truly remorseful, his voice was low, rough, every word deliberate. Then why spy around in the middle of the night? No one answered. Only the rustle of wind outside and the steady drip of water from the roof into the gutter filled the silence. The small house sank deeper into the chill, heavy with the smell of burnt oil and fear. Time seemed to stop. All that remained was the sound of breathing, heartbeats, and an unspoken tension thick enough to feel. Then suddenly, a dog barked from the end of the dirt road. The first bark was short, then came another, louder, sharper, echoing through the quiet dawn. Hoai Ca flinched, clutching her mother's hand. Du straightened instantly, eyes flashing as he stepped out to the porch, gripping the knife tighter. Mother Ha managed only a quiet plea. Don't go far, son, the mist's still thick. But Du didn't respond. He stood there, staring down the road, where the moonlight was fading into the pale edge of dawn. A dull instinct churned inside him that this wasn't over, that the night had only begun. The wind brushed through the orange grove, carrying the scent of wet earth and the faint metallic tang from the blade in his hand. The dog kept barking long, sharp, echoing through the stillness, a sound that made the hair on one's neck rise. Next episode, The Mark in the Orange Grove. After a night filled with fear and unanswered questions, Dew decides to follow the footprints left in the damp soil. But when he returns, a strange message appears on Hoai Ca's wall, scrawled hastily in mud and dried blood. Who is trying to warn them? And the one lurking in the shadows, is it someone they know, or an enemy long forgotten?
Chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Hôm nay thì mình đang làm video và sau tỉnh táo lắm nên là mình vừa mới đi tắm, tóc tai đang còn ướt luôn. Bây giờ thì mình sẽ bắt đầu làm việc. Thường khi tắm xong thì mình sẽ phải vệ sinh tai và mũi thật là khô ráo nước các thứ cho nó sạch sẽ mọi người. Không biết mọi người có thói quen đấy không, chứ khi mà mình tắm xong là ngày nào mình cũng phải ngoái tai. Hết cái việc ngoái tai kiểu là cái việc không thể thiếu hàng ngày của mình luôn. Dù nó chẳng có gì hết nhưng mình phải ngoái cho nó khô ráo á. Bây giờ thì mình sẽ bắt đầu làm video và mọi người hãy đón xem những video tiếp theo trên kênh mình nha. Tạm biệt mọi người.